There we go.
Is it on? Okay.
Yes. All right. All right. So we officially. You said that to me on Slack, love?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you know it's not gonna do me no good because
Yeah.
I can't even watch it. All right. So we're gonna have a conversation tonight about polygyny. Absolutely, Kyle. Appreciate you, man. So first off, I want to welcome you guys to the call. If you're watching this from wherever you are, I want you to know that your life has meaning and purpose. And if you're watching this, it's for some reason. Now you could be watching this for pure entertainment or for education. Either way, we want to do our best to bring you some value today or tonight, I should say. And want to hope to leave you better than we found you, either through the form of entertainment or education. So just to give you the format of the call, we're going to introduce ourselves, tell you guys who we are. We're going to briefly, educate you guys on how we met, how we got started in this dynamic, the purpose behind this dynamic, and then lastly, obviously but not least, we're going to give you guys an opportunity to join our private polygyny group, where we're going to be bringing value there, giving you guys tools and resources to help you succeed and do this the legal way, in addition to uh, helping you find compatible partners, because we're going to attract people who are interested in this dynamic. So I'm Amontio. I'm a business strategist. I own multiple businesses. As a business strategist, and I have a legal firm that specializes in helping businesses structure tax exempt businesses. So if you're watching this and you're an entrepreneur and you want to uh, find a way to run your business completely tax free, and your business actually fits in the structure to be able to do that, then you can definitely reach out to me. I would love to help you set up that structure, and it's going to be a major way for you to keep some of the wealth that you start to obtain for your family. Next wants to introduce themselves.
I can start. I can go next. Hey everybody, I am Harmony. I am, of course, wife to Amancio. I wear many different hats. I'm a mother, content creator, business owner. Really, I am just here to help women really heal, and before they're ready to step into this dynamic, and help them just become emotionally aware, right? And heal, like I said, to function optimally in this dynamic. I also have my fitness company that I started as well, the Lapo Fit Club. Shout out to us, the Lapo Fit Club members and supporters. I've been doing that for, probably since like 2019, for working out in the gym, create a community for it. Again, I have to do a lot of different things, y'all. Chef, mom, wear a lot of different hats. Really, I'm just here to serve, and again, help women really become emotionally stable, so that they can function in this dynamic.
Love it.
Peace, everyone. I'm Lady Boo. I am the sister wife and courting both Harmony and Amontio in this polydynamic. I am an indigenous cosmotherapist. I study psychology as well as indigenous cosmology. So I serve as the high priestess in our household and basically create systems for us to be able to navigate our emotional, mental, spiritual, as well as value consciousness within our dynamic, being that we all have very unique natures and designs that we can decode and basically navigate all of our connections very purposely and intentively, rather than just it being so many different energies where we're unaware of ourselves and kind of just flowing through the dynamic. We move in purpose. I also am a chef as well, so something me and Sis Harmony share in common. It's very balancing for us, the way that we serve one another, and we both are very amazing chefs. So
Yes, indeed.
yes.
What's up, love?
Hey, Newski.
Pieces. So yes, basically my role in the dynamic is focusing on our spiritual health and wellness and providing us each our individual Black prints based on our specific psychology to navigate our individual success, as we all are God within self, and then our shared success as well as we grow within our dynamic. So yes.
All right, y'all, and y'all can make sure y'all follow these beautiful women. They got a lot of value that they can bring. We run companies together, and we are just getting started. It's a lot on the rise. But this is a major week for us as our tribal government has its annual summit. So we're moving tomorrow, and we're preparing for that. So it's a lot going on. But needless to say, we wanted to get on this call because we wanted to just get this group going because we know this is our purpose to educate, and we've been getting a lot of feedback from the content we're putting out. So just to start, this is to the men because it is important for you guys who want to start to have this dynamic. First of all, you have to start with open honesty in your communications from day one when you're dealing with a woman. Me and Harmony's very first date, we sat down. If I'm not mistaken, we were having smoothies in the side bowls. South Block, South Blizzy. Shout out to South Block. And we had this conversation about me having a desire to have a polygynous dynamic. And I have so many reasons why polygyny works for me. And if you're a man watching this, regardless of where you're from, you probably can relate. So I'll touch on those for one. So first thing is you're not monogamous by nature, right? And monogamy is a man-made structure. It's a man-made concept, right? That one man should be with one woman, and I'm not knocking it. It works for some, but it doesn't work for all. And I truly don't believe that I have to be half of myself to be happy or to make someone else happy. But with that being said, I also know what comes with life. Right? One of the things that we can't ignore that comes with life is death. Part of life is death. So I do not want my wife to experience, if something is to happen to me, to experience having to, one, grieve my death alone, taking care of our child by herself. So having a sister wife, just in that aspect alone, is important. We just had a recent incident where I was in jail for 5 days. And if you join our private community, I'm going to share that specific story. I'll talk about that later. But it was easier for all of us to get through that process because nobody was alone, outside of me, of course. But the two of them had each other. And these are just different reasons why polygyny is important, and it is so valuable because we hear the quote all the time that it takes a village. But let's be honest, if we look at our families today, the village is not there. All right, the village is nowhere near there. All right, the village is very conditional. It's not unconditional. It's there when it's convenient. It's not there all the time. And so if you don't build this if you don't find a way to build this, you may need it someday. And it doesn't have to look like this. Again, we're not pushing polygyny on anybody. We're just sharing with you guys the value that it could bring potentially if it's something that you seek or something that you may be interested in. So with that being said, when I shared it with Harmony, she was very open with me in front that it was a new concept to her, and that it would be something that she was open to, but she didn't really know much about it. And I understood where she was coming from. But to me, that wasn't like a red flag. I still decided to court her and date her, and she ended up being, what's up, everybody? Shout out to y'all joining. She ended up being the most incredible woman that I had ever dated. And I was so grateful because she literally is everything that I was looking for in a woman. Now, I will tell you this. You have to work on yourself tremendously as a man to attract a woman who is going to serve you wholeheartedly, one who is going to help you become a better man, all right? And so before you can get that, and I'll tell you guys, I've been through some very terrible relationships, but before you choose your spouse, make sure you know what you're looking for. and a spouse, right? And so me and Harmony watched the movie a month ago. What's it called?
Lifeless.
Lifeless? Yeah,
Mhm.
Lifeless. I think it's on Netflix. It was on Netflix, but it's a really good movie. You should check it out, especially if it's still on there. But there were 4 questions that are very important to ask before you date someone that one of the characters in the movie that she used to do her sorting process through dating. So the first question was, is this person kind? So it doesn't matter if you're doing polygyny or monogamy or any form of dating. If someone isn't kind, then it's probably not a good recipe for a successful relationship. And now, kind doesn't mean a pushover. It doesn't mean that you're sweet or that people can take advantage of you. But it's simply that you treat people the way you want to be treated, with respect, with integrity, things of that nature, right? So kindness is very important. The second thing is, can you tell that person what's in your heart? And that's really important because we've all been in relationships, whether they are, relationships where it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever the case may be, or father, daughter, father, son, whatever, parental relationship, family, whatever. But we've all been in relationships where we felt like we couldn't tell the person that we're with the things that were in our heart. And if you can't do that, we can agree there's going to be a lot of conflict in your relationship as well. So first is kindness. Is this person kind? The second one is, can I tell this person what's in my heart? The third one is, does this person make me a better man or a better woman? And if the answer to that question is no, then you know that that's not a quality or good relationship for you to be in. It's very simple. Your relationship should make you better. Iron sharpens iron. So if you're with someone and your life is falling apart, if you're with someone and you're not getting better, if you're with someone and you're not hitting your goals, if you hit someone and if you're with someone and you find yourself being stressed out, that's a good sign for you to probably get out of that relationship. And then the fourth one is, do you see yourself having kids with that person? And let me tell you, if I knew that question or these questions, I could have saved myself a whole lot of time, energy, money, frustration, and I have no regrets because everything that's happened in my life has gotten me to this point. But in honest truth, we have to sort the people that we decide that we're going to be with, because your partner, your mate, that is the most important decision that you can make in your life. So I'm gonna give the ladies a chance to elaborate on that. If there's anything y'all want to share, like what do you think about, I know Lady Vu will probably go into cosmology, but if you guys want to talk to the men or the women about the importance of choosing their spouse or choosing the person that they date.
Okay, well, I'll go first. So yeah, within my cosmological studies, my case studies thus far, first and foremost for myself, I've been able to really intentionally navigate exactly what my values are within a relationship based on the specific elements that are me. And in learning it from a tribal or indigenous perspective, also implementing that level of cultural remembrance and spirituality into our connections, it's really a matter of, for one, understanding what ancestors you align with. That'll be another conversation we go into in our group or in community dynamic. However, I was able to, how should I say this? Basically, we all have energetic imprints that we can study and see exactly who we're aligned with most optimally, whether that be like in a love connection or whether that be in communication, whether that be in business and things in that nature. So for me, in my prior relationships, not having that awareness and then nationalizing and initiating into this study, I was able to really vet all of my past relationships and what I was doing wrong, or not wrong per se, but just what I was attracting that was more of a cyclical relationship that served as a catalyst in my life for me to learn and do better, versus what actually serves me in a reciprocated way that is fulfilling my purpose and growth. So yeah, as far as our dynamic, we have the optimal recipe for success and love and abundance. And it's just been a journey navigating it in real time versus before I met them. When Amancio reached out to me, I already was doing my studies and everything and seeing like, okay, is this person aligned with me? Do I see myself actually initiating in this specific type of dynamic? Because within our relationships, there's mathematics to the madness, as well as there's also mathematics to our manifestation. So when we understand exactly what our mathematics are personally, now we know exactly what we will to attract or seek in a relationship, and it makes things so much simpler. And yeah, it's just divine alignment at that point. Once you have that level of self-awareness and also awareness of your partner or partners, because we know each other's functions and dysfunctions. We know me plus you equals this specific energy or ancestor. So how to exactly align, within our shared purpose. That's really just the most important value that I have for self as far as my specific design and study and what I have to offer as far as leading other sisters in this type of dynamic, because we a lot of times go into relationships, based off of more so how we feel emotionally as women. We're sensible beings. However, life and every dynamic and everything in creation is an art and a science. So once we put the two together, now we're an unstoppable force, and we can literally just what's the word? Like, we can negate all types of dysfunction and generational curses, even, and cycles that have been repeating in our relationships due to lack of awareness, as well as unhealthy sense of values in our connection. So yeah, I feel that's just my take on it. It's just harmony.
Yes. I mean, I think that was the icing on the cake right there. No, but I will add, I'll just emphasize what a few points that she mentioned. In knowing like the cosmology, right? And she's going to get into that more within our community. So make sure you guys stay tuned into the end of this call, right? Because we're going to get into it, all right? But for me, I think the question was, could you repeat the question just so that I'm on my toes?
I forgot what the question was.
I was speaking on the 4 questions from Lifeless,
Mm-hmm.
and basically just having you elaborate on those.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think it's important emotionally to have some sense of self-control and regulation. Because what I see is that a lot of women, they get into relationships with a bunch of baggage. And I don't even want to say baggage, but I would just say emotional trauma, to where they begin to project onto their partners. And I'm seeing it, in the comments. I'm hearing it and I'm seeing it, in our society. And I'm getting down to the root, even within myself, right? And even regulating myself due to my past relationships and experiences. And it is the inability to, 1, separate the truth from the trigger. And 2,
Mm-hmm.
and 2, be able to transmute those negative experiences into your power, because as women, we are very, very powerful beings. And I don't think we realize like how much our mood and just the way that we operate in our family dynamic, right? Our moods and our actions affect, 1, our husband, our children, our sister wives, and our family as a whole. And so I just want to emphasize being able to do the inner work, do the deep work, and look into self, and really start to have those conversations with self and make space for your healing. And that's whether you're in a monogamous relationship or a polygynous relationship, right? If you're not on your square, if you don't have this body right here, you're self-regulated, then you're always gonna clash with your partner in some form of fashion. And don't get me wrong, I mean, relationships aren't perfect. Your relationship isn't going to be perfect. I mean, you're going to have disagreements. But in terms of emotional regulation, you have to have that awareness so that when you do clash, right, and when you do have disagreements, you're not going to be angry and you're not allowing that to spill over into other aspects of your life. So that's my 2 cents.
All right, first off, thank you, Fola Woli, for the follow. And first of all, great answers. Appreciate you ladies for even coming on here. First of all, I want to let y'all know how much I love and appreciate y'all because, this takes a certain level of vulnerability for us to put our relationship, in the forefront. But we know that this is part of our purpose to really educate because we're ignorant to really what our ancestors, how they lived and how they were able to be successful. And if we were able to step back for a second and really look at what is happening today, right? So the systems that we're up against have done a great job of taking the Black indigenous man out of the home. All right, they've done a great job of making the woman feel like she doesn't need a man, right? And if man doesn't if man doesn't respect woman and woman doesn't feel like she needs man, then we're leaving our children alone, hurt, confused to figure out this dynamic. And so polygyny was created to protect women and children. That's why it was created. This is not about sex. This is not about lust. This is not about fantasy. This is literally about legacy. And so we are the first, I'm not saying the first, but we're one of the first people to really bring this to the forefront and outside of the Muslim community, because you guys see that they've been doing that for years and they have a way more successful family structure than your typical American people. Now, my message to the men, okay, is first off, do not go to these courts and marry nobody. All right, and if you've already done that, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, you've put yourself in an extremely vulnerable position because our system today, it incentivizes women to leave their husbands. So the moment your wife leaves you, she's gonna take everything from you, including your children. So that is one of the first things that's wrong with our system, because what was wrong with society is that the systems are attacking the man so that he no longer, and him and the woman are no longer on the same page. And that affects the lineages to come. That's a form of genocide. Right, and I do this quote all the time where I ask people, what is it called when one person, takes their own life? And the answer is suicide. When someone takes someone else's life, it's homicide. But when generations are being attacked, even if it's not directly, it is a form of genocide, and that's what they're doing to us. So no, they're not stopping us from reproducing because we're making kids, but we're not creating legacy. We're not creating legacy where we're not leaving our children with anything. We're not leaving them with material success or with values and morals and understanding how to be successful in life. And I'm not coming to you guys today from this perfect perspective because I didn't do everything right. I made a ton of mistakes, but my mistakes led me to the wisdom and knowledge that I have today to want to do this better, to want to do this right. And the woman that we choose to be with is so important, because she is either going to make us a greater man who can create a nation, because that's what me and my family are doing. We're building a nation. You guys are going to see that we're one of the families that own most of the land in this country. We'll be one of the families that have some of the most successful businesses in this country. We'll own most of the valuable resources in this country, because we're on a takeover. We're not playing. And again, like I told you, this is not just a lustful thing. This is not about threesomes and sex and all the stupid stuff that you see online. This is about legacy. And we got a lot of people's opinions. We got so many funny comments that we laugh at. Some that are even like intentionally trying to hurt me or them. And first of all, just let it be clear, like, you guys can't hurt us with your comments, the haters. And I'm not talking about the people on here, but we understand what comes with this, and we know that for a fact we're gonna have some backlash. We're gonna have some negativity come. And it's because people fear what they don't understand. But I really, really, really encourage you guys to do your research, to really dive deep into what made us successful in tribes in earlier times. And the truth was that men protected multiple women through marriage, through marriage, and from my laptop on my phone. But men protected women and children through marriage. And again, for those who have their opinions, everybody who has opinion, your opinion doesn't matter because you cannot legally do this unless you get with myself or someone else in my government to help you do this legally, right? Unless you're associated with some form of. Is your sergeant not under the No, it's okay. If the computer died, it's right there. If you cannot do this without the correct legal structure. Okay, so when you join our private community, which we're going to be talking about at the end of the call, we also want to do Q&As and give you guys the opportunity to ask some questions. But when you join our community, we're going to give you guys family contracts that you can use because we write up our own family contracts. And at the point that you write your contract, you actually make the decision if you're going to be polygynous or monogamous right there on the spot. So it's not like something that you can just swindle a woman into you're going to be polygynous. No, you have to be open and honest from the front, and that's what makes this successful. And that's the reason why it works. Your wife is going to, or your spouse is going to respect you for being an honest man. Right? So many men are out here lying and hiding, and I'm not that guy. I don't want to hide. I don't want to lie. I don't want to do none of that. And that makes life way harder when you can just be open and honest with women, because there are women who are very, very much well educated on polygyny, that understand the benefits of it, and that want to be a part of this dynamic. You'd be surprised for so many reasons, you know why. So I want to ask the wives real quick, why? All right, so obviously y'all both had two different experiences. You know, me and Harmony were together first, and then so it's not this. It's two different, entries into the relationship. But being that we're together now, share with them, like, what would you say the values for a woman? Like, what are the benefits for a woman in polygyny?
I will start by saying sisterhood. Like that's what it is in totality. I can go into detail. As you guys see, I'm a new mom. Just had a baby 2 months ago. Had no idea how my world would turn upside down once he came. In a great way though. The assistance, the emotional support, right? Because there are things that we go through as women that men will never understand, right? And that's just the way it is, and vice versa for men. So having her here as an emotional support during postpartum has been invaluable. I mean, like, I can't even begin to explain, like, when you have a baby, like your whole physiology literally changes. Like, you literally become a new person. And so just having her here, helping me not just with the housework, but really my rebirth as a woman into goddesshood and into motherhood, having that reflection is so powerful, because I see a lot of women lose themselves during postpartum because they don't have that support. And so I just want to emphasize, like, I'm extremely grateful for you, sis, because my experience postpartum so far has been amazing. Like, I don't have any depression. Like, I do have days where I'm not 100%, right? I think we all can agree to that. Equilibrium can be a little imbalanced, but just having her here is a reminder that I'm powerful, I'm strong, and I'm not alone. So that's just one factor, and one benefit is an emotional support. And like I said, sisterhood, like having that woman to confide in and to just to trust and to reflect upon in womanhood and in sisterhood is just something that, again, your husband is not able to reflect you in that way, in that divine way. And so I just encourage every woman on here to, if it's not for you, I'm not here to convince you upon your will, but to open your mind up to it. I did see a lot of comments like, why can't we just have sister, without sharing the husband? You can have that. But the addition to having the husband is you also have that protection and provision as well. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Yeah.
I will addition to the sisterhood value, being that, for one, having your reflection, like specifically as a woman in a relationship, it's been a very divine experience for me. This is my first polygynous relationship. However, or in addition, it's something that I've always desired and been open to.
Always?
And yeah.
Wow.
Well, as far as
since you've been in,
since I've been educated, as far as my nationality and initiating the tribe, or even before that, I've known polydynamics, just as far as studying even African culture and kinship times, and things of that nature. I've always been aware, not always, but in my awareness and growing into that cultural understanding of the way that our nations and empires were, governed, and systematically just what the design was. And I've even had dreams about it, as far as like myself being in a kingdom or in a queendom, having amongst a king, having multiple sisters next to me that are his wives. So it's just all about cultural remembrance for me, and just restoring the kinship, like restoring our cultural values and overcoming insecurity, overcoming jealousy and competition and all these different things. One motto that me and my sister reflect upon one another is, I will for my sister what I will for myself, whether that be love, whether that be just security and provision and partnership, collaboration. Like, we're a team, and it's really just getting back to the root of who we are, growing forth to the root, because we're getting back to the future, but the what's in the back, what's in the past is really the gold, that we're digging up, and forming these connections, and also liberating ourselves from any mental, emotional, and spiritual constructs that we have been subjected to under the U.S.'s jurisdiction. And yeah, ultimately, like, just we've fallen out of alignment, and in this dynamic, we have the ability to master family and universal love for one another. So yeah, I would say that would be my core value, just having that reflection, and most importantly, just the cultural remembrance to restore our villages, to restore our communities, to restore, the economic flow, like within, our communities and families per se. So yeah, my 2 cents.
All right, so we had a couple more people join. Shout out to Yogi. Shout out to True Eastside Ninja. I ain't even gonna say that. I don't know
Peace, fam.
Some
What's
girl,
going on, everybody?
some girl named Moore. Does that come up? K-Mo?
I think so, yeah.
Hey, K-Mo. And first of all, welcome y'all. Y'all came in late. Obviously this is gonna be posted. So we know that some of the things that people fear in this dynamic is dealing with the emotions of jealousy and these low level emotions. All right, and so I wish I could pull up this enlightenment chart to show you guys, but anger, fear, jealousy, shame they're some of the lowest emotions that you could feel, right? And it's a choice to feel those things. The powerful thing about life, the greatest thing about life, is that our Creator gave us a heart first, right? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you have the ability to control how you feel, regardless of what you think. So one of the things that I've done in my life is, over the last few years, especially as I've gained the wisdom and access to control my mind and my emotions, is to find the win in everything. Right, and if you can find the win in everything, you really become invincible, because in that moment you're not reacting to things in life. you're responding to things, meaning that you're able to have an enlightened perspective where you're able to see the good in any situation, regardless of how bad it looks. And then from there, you can go on a deeper place where you can actually emit the emotions that you want to feel versus the emotions that other people want you to feel, right? So that person at your job that's trying to piss you off and they want you to be agitated and annoyed, like you're giving them the power to feel that, or you could just choose to feel what you want to feel. The powerful thing about transmuting your energy and your emotions, because emotions are energy in motion, is that you can put yourself in an emotional state. For example, before I had 2 wives, I used to visualize having multiple wives. I used to imagine what it would feel like having harmony in my home with multiple women, my children running around, things of that nature, right? Feeling those things way before it comes, because if you can feel it first, you've made it real. The moment you feel it, you've actually put out a radio frequency to make it real. And it won't show up immediately in your physical reality, but it will show up later. So as men, as women, we had to, Harmony said emotional regulation. A big part of that is being able to step outside of yourself. And when you do, look at how you're acting in life. Look at yourself, like literally look at yourself and see, dang, am I being someone who is just, my emotions are dragging me through life and beating my ass all up and down every single day? Or am I someone who has full control of my emotions, where that's really when you truly a God, where it's like, dang, it don't matter what I'm going through. Whatever happens for me, like I'm going to choose to be happy. Happiness is a choice, by the way. It's a choice. It's a choice that regardless of what you're going through, that you're going to be happy. And so what I'm really getting at right here is for the men that think, I get men to tell us, how did you do this? Or how does it? I'm telling you, this might sound cliche or might sound like some magical trick or something, but it's real. I was feeling this and feeling the things that I'm experiencing way before they happen. And you have to do that too. And even if it's not for polygyny, even if it's just for you trying to manifest, a new job, like if that's what you're trying to manifest, then how would you feel when you got that new job? What do you feel like when you get that thing that you want? You need to feel it first, because if you wait for the world to give it to you, you're never going to get it. You're going to have to give it to yourself. And I'm not as good as explaining this as Neuro Knowledge, but I'm going to tell you guys, go follow Neuro Knowledge. That's my guy. He's one of the greatest teachers on, manifestation, and it works. All right, so again, I made a point earlier that we're getting a bunch of people's opinions and people yapping and got comments and got all this stuff to say, but it really doesn't matter, because if you don't claim your nationality, you can't even do this legally, right? And so want to share with you guys some of the benefits of claiming your nationality, right? Because as of right now, if you don't have a nationality, then you don't have your rights. You don't have the right to choose to be polygamous. So you can't do this legally, right? You can only do it like for play, right? So I'm gonna show you guys this is my certificate of Indigenous American citizenship, right? So this gives me my natural rights in this land, meaning that no one can tell me what cultural traditions I want to practice, right? So I can choose to practice polygyny because my ancestors practiced polygyny on this land and they did it successfully. And we looking at monogamy. Monogamy is failing, and I'm not knocking anybody that's doing it, but it is failing us. Let's be real, okay? Let's be honest about what's going on. I seen a post the other day that said $45 billion a year is going to alimony and child support. That means that monogamy is not working. And one thing I can tell you about polygyny, especially when it's done with people who have values, is that every moment that there is some level of accountability that's going to be had. So no one's going to just be able to just do anybody dirty in your polygamous relationship, because if I was trying to do Lady Vu dirty, Harmony's not going to go for that. She's going to check me at the door. If Lady Vu is trying to do Harmony dirty, or Lady Vu is trying to do me dirty, Harmony would check Lady Vu. We're going to check each other one, and not saying that that's what's going on, but I'm just saying in reality, there needs to be some accountability, some form of how to deal with conflict in your home. And so when it's just two people going at it, yelling and screaming, arguing and fighting or whatever, which we don't have in our household, thank God. But if that was the case, there's going to be a very low chance that one of us is not mentally aware of the lower level energy and dysfunction and checking the space correcting the space and bringing us back into alignment, and that is very important. So definitely want to make sure that if you are interested in this, that you join our community, because we're going to be helping you guys set up your nationality. We're going to help you guys get in the right status so you can do this legally and not be doing it for play, and really build structure. And then as far as wealth is concerned, we're setting up your business entity, because as a family, you are a government, you are a business, right? The wealthiest families in this world, the wealthiest people in this world are families. They have family businesses, right? The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, these are families that own over 50% of the capital in the world. So you need to look at your family the same way. You need to look at your family as a family who is building a dynasty. Because if you're not thinking 100 years from now, then you're not playing right. We're thinking about 100 years from now. We're thinking about our great grandchildren, and how we're going to be able to set them up through legal structure, through owning land, through owning trademarks, through owning business, through owning having investments, and doing things that are not just about today, that are about the future. We also can set up your tax exempt status. You guys have seen our posts. I have receipts here. All the places that you shop at, we shop at tax free. All right, tax free. You see Target. Shout out to my man Future Cole. What's this? In Motion. I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is a place at the airport that I bought some beats from. I don't know what this is, but these are just receipts, all tax exempt receipts, and you guys can see that. First of all, because you don't know your rights, you're being taxed by the mob, which is the government, right? And the government is owned by these families too, right? And I don't want to get kicked off Instagram, but they're gonna come for us. But I'm just being real with you. There's a lot that you don't know. There's a lot that most people don't know, but you have to understand, if you're not thinking like these people, then 9 times out of 10 that you are being a victim of the systems that they put in place. And so we don't build systems to oppose the systems that are killing our children, that are sickening our children, that are breaking our families apart. Then we're not doing this right. And so me and my family, we have chosen that we're going to be the model family, and we're not perfect. I'm not saying that we got it all figured out or that we have everything in order. We're taking it one step at a time to be in full alignment, to be a true model for every young, old, middle-aged person who is interested in this dynamic, who is tired of trying to succeed in life alone. Because if you want to get somewhere fast, do it by yourself. But if you want to go far, my biggest suggestion to you is to team up with like-minded people. More than likely, they could be, if in best case scenario, they could be women, if you're a man, right? Women that love you for who you are, that are truly interested in finding out how they can serve you and your legacy. And together, y'all coming together with mutual understanding, trust, and respect, and building something that you can be proud of. And that's really what polygamy comes down to in a nutshell. So, real quick, I just want to have the ladies speak on emotional harmony, because this is huge. I know a lot of women are just like, oh, I can't share my man and this, that, and the fourth. And I'm so sick and tired of hearing that, because you don't own your man. You cannot own a man. You can't own anybody. You don't own your children. If you think you own your children, you're gonna find out very soon. Trust me. Trust and believe me. When they get older, you're gonna find out. I got 2 teenagers, and I do not own them. Trust me. I thought I did, and I tried, and you will find out very soon. You cannot own anybody in this world but yourself, and you can only own the space that you occupy. But you cannot own another person. So the moment that you try to possess a man, you have already lost him. And men, if you let a woman possess you, you are a half a man. And I'm telling you that first. You are half a man. And that woman's going to walk over you. She's not going to respect you. And you're going to find yourself being her, and I'm not going to say it. I'm going to try to keep these calls as PG as I possibly can. But be a man. You feel me? And own the space you occupy, because a real woman is going to respect you in your full alpha state, where you know what it is. You have clarity on what it is that you want, where you can look her in her eyes and let her know that you love her, but you also have the capacity to love another woman and trust and believe. I'm telling you, I'm watching it in real time, right? Sometimes your spouse doesn't know what's best for her until you show her. I'm gonna let that sink in for a second, because until you show her, she will never know. You can talk about it all day, but when you create an environment where she can see, wow, I'm really being supported. Wow, I'm really being helped. Wow, I really have sisterhood. Wow, I really have a partner, a companion. Because this is what we're really lacking in life: people who actually give a damn, people who actually care. Instead of seeking this from people who are going to leave your space, you can build this right in your own home. And every day you can have someone who you can talk to about anything. You can bounce ideas off of, who will actually help you build your brands and your business and things. I mean, how many of you men and women are on this call right now and you live by yourself, or maybe you do have a partner, but they got their own thing going on. You got your thing going on. Well, what for us, we have each other. You know, if I'm busy, they got each other. If Lady Vu's busy, me and Harmony rocking. If Harmony's busy, me and Lady Vu rocking. We always got somebody who can help us. If you're recording content for your business, whatever, you got somebody who can help you. If you're tired, you had a rough day, you don't feel like cooking, you got someone else who can help you. It's so many different ways that polygyny can bring you value. And so I want you guys, if y'all could, before we go into the Q&A, is just share some importance about emotional harmony, and how women can actually how they can cultivate that space to be able to do this. Because I think that's what women, that mother-daughter relationship or those two sisters that's real catty, or those two girls in school that just, they get catty and fighty and fussy and all that. Like, how do women avoid that? How do women work in harmony emotionally?
That's a great question. You want to start?
Yeah, I'll go. So for one, I'll say collaboration in itself serves us in overcoming competition.
That's a bar right
As
there.
women, we have to understand that your sister is your reflection. We all are the divine feminine, however you want to call it. And we all grow through the same rites of passage in life, from daughterhood to sisterhood to womanhood, motherhood, wife, goddess, if you make it there. And yeah, it's our divine assignment to be that reflection and support and service to one another in that initiation, especially at this time where we have been in such a state of dysfunction and even deregulation in health, to the point that we can't even function properly, to have that level of awareness that this sister before me is the same, not the same, but in likeness to me in this, experience in life. And one thing that truly serves us in having universal love and collaboration within sisterhood is recognizing that, for one, no woman can out-purpose your purpose. You have an innate gift, you have an innate superpower, you have an innate magic that no one else can replicate. So in that, for one, on a cosmological standpoint, you studying your innate science, or like I said, the mathematics to your manifestations, now you can depersonalize and not compare yourself to anybody outside of you, because you came here, you chose this life, and you incarnated here with a specific assignment that you knew only you could fulfill, So when you have that reflection and awareness of self, and you also have that reflection and awareness of your sister, now it's like, okay, there is no competition. Like, you're here for what you're here for. I'm here for what I'm here for. Let's work together to, fulfill that goal, to fulfill that initiation of self, to fulfill that initiation of love, to fulfill that initiation within the nation. Good thing. Yes, but just within our families. And after we've grown through so much trauma and just like I said, the dysfunction, deregulation, there has to be some type of bell that goes off at a point, where it's like, all right, we really take a look around and see that if you're a single woman and you out here on your own, you're masculine, you know, you coming home late at night, you're carrying the bags and you're doing all these different things.
Taking out
like
the trash.
You don't have to. You're choosing that, you know. And as sisters, like we've both been in that, you know, position. So it's like, why would we compete and compare and this and that the third when it's like we both know that we deserve to be loved, we deserve to be protected, we deserve everything that we will, you know, and desire, and also will to create for our children, you know. So I'll say that. And then also when it comes to wealth building or just our values, in a sense, supporting each other in our innate gifts. Like for instance, me and her, we have different, you know, practices and things that we're working on. However, she's a content queen. I'm not a super content person. I'm not a super technological person. I study, you know, spirituality, things of that nature. However, she's serving me by helping me bring that vision to light. And I'm serving her by helping her become more enlightened and aware in her spirituality from a cosmological standpoint. So we all have different gifts that we serve each other and kind of putting the puzzle pieces together. When we stop, you know, just it's all about getting out your own way and recognizing me to me. When I have that conversation myself, me to you, you are my reflection. So we're here in divine order. And when we take ourselves out of that low level intelligence, or just out of our low level emotions and truly initiate into goddesshood, now like I said, you can't out-purpose my purpose. I'm not here to out-purpose yours. I'm here to be all that God is in my specific fulfillment, in my unique fulfillment. And I know that she has a unique fulfillment. I know that he has a unique fulfillment because we all are the ancestors here in divine order. All the different traumas and triggers and things that we've experienced, passed down from generations of our families being in disorder and chaos and things of that nature. You know, a lot of times we hold that, you know, resentment, and we carry that into our relationships, and we even carry that into our friendships or within sisterhood, you know. And that's where, in having that awareness, now we're able to debunk all these different stereotypes around quote unquote Black women can't get along and this and that the third, you know. It's like, and it's still true at this point, as we're seeing, as you know, we're unfolding in our connection, and so many different women are just hating, like straight hating, crazy, you know. And it's cool, it's great, because we love it. It's all love, it's all currency, and it's serving our purpose. It's helping us, it's serving us in making our point. Because for me, on a psychological point, it's all a case study for me. I'm studying the mind, I'm studying how women think, and I'm also being reflected back at me the level of dysfunction I used to be in. It's like, okay, I'm here now. So this is my purpose, to serve others that still, you know, in that low level space, and not judge them or feel like, you know, I gotta hate back or this and that the third. Like, it's not that, you know. All the people that's in the comments going crazy and, you know, saying negative things, it's really just they're traumatized. We have been severely traumatized as a people. So us being that model family, as well as model in sisterhood, it's just our purpose to be that reflection to one another and everyone else, that all these triggers are arising because truly deep within is something that you yearn for. It's something that you will. It probably is something that you need, you know. It doesn't have to be in this form or fashion, but in the likeness of my sister, if this man wasn't here, would I truly know how to love and respect her as a woman? Because even in our friendship relationships, it's like a lot of envy, this and that the third, because you feel intimidated because there's a powerful woman before you, and you like, well, shoot, what's my power, this and the third. And you can know that we have the sciences for you to know that. Everybody, you know, what Nero say, we spiritual niggas now in our communities. Like, yeah, everybody, they putting on their front and they not, you know, really being true to self about where they are in their initiation process. So when you meet with your reflection and you're open to that embrace, now it's like we're all accountability partners here. There's nothing to hide, and there's no shame. There's no more tainted image of self, you know, and that's what I will to reflect in my community as well as express in my dynamic, you know. So I don't know what the question was. I just started flowing, but yeah. Yeah. So
we were talking about emotional harmony and how y'all
Right.
maintain, how women can maintain it in this dynamic.
Yeah, I think that was a very great segment that she led with. I would just say book your Black print reading by going to her page, click the link in that bio. Get inside the community because these are the type of conversations that we'll be having. This is the type of clarity that you're going to be able to get, you know, when you get in the inner circle. What I will just add, just to kind of finish off on this topic, is you're going to have to relearn everything that you were taught about yourself. I had to learn that for myself. I had no idea who I was. Like, everybody was projecting their insecurities on me, their fears, their religion, their ideals. And you have to take some time. Practically, the way to be able to sustain the emotional harmony is knowing who you are. So outside of getting your Black print reading, you need to do the work, okay? I'm in my journal almost every other day, like scribing, because from the mouth and from the heart is where everything flows. And so if you want to know yourself, right? Go to bed. If you want to know yourself, take 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, right? Maybe 2 minutes a day and write your thoughts down. And I'll tell you everything you need to know about yourself. And from there, just start to do the work.
Love it. So we're going to get into some Q&A. All is blessed, Brody. Keep up the great work, and y'all be safe and blessed up. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Smiles, well, appreciate you. Y'all, so we're gonna open up the floor for some questions. So y'all, please drop some questions. We want to know what questions y'all have for us. Go ahead and drop them in the chat. We want to know. And you guys can go follow our Poly and Purpose page. We will be, our private community is available for you to join. When you get started, when you join, you get a quiz that you take. Is basically just going to see if you're qualified for, you know, if you're somebody who, you know, qualifies for this. And if not, we're going to, you know, help you get regulated, get you some, you know, education, and get you the things that you need to make sure that you know, are functional trying to begin this dynamic. But most importantly, you're going to be a part of a community where you're going to, one, get the information that you need. We can get the information that you need to actually thrive in this, because polygyny without purpose, you know, it's chaos. It will become chaos. So you want to make sure that you have some structure, legal structure, as well as emotional structure, making sure, and then compatibility structure, understanding, like, is the person I'm dating, are we compatible? Am I even a person that should be in this type of dynamic? We're going to give you guys family contracts. We're going to give you guys legal structure, business structure, where you can operate your family business tax-free, keeping the IRS 100% out of your bank accounts and out of your pockets. So if you guys got questions, drop them in the chat so we can answer. I'm going to give you guys 4 minutes till 9:10 to ask questions. If you do have any questions, now is the time to ask. Go follow our Poly and Purpose page. The link is the link in the bio?
Yes,
the link is in the bio for you to join. It's $13 a month. You're going to get so much value. In addition to that, we're giving away a car, a 2008 Honda Accord. We're giving away a car at the end of the year. So you will be a part of that giveaway just by joining our community. We want to give away and give back. We are truly blessed and abundant. And we want to give away things that can really make an impact in people's lives. Because obviously, you know, there are people out here who don't have cars. They're traveling on the bus. They're, you know, doing all these things, and a car can make a big difference. It's not a brand new car, but it's a car, you know. And you know, if you enter the giveaway and you win, it could be something that could make an impact in your life. So that being said, If nobody has any questions, we're gonna give y'all 180 seconds to ask a question. Y'all, it's no way you cannot have any question for us.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions in the DMs.
Yeah,
but
we get questions in the DMs all the time. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think, what kind of questions do I get? First of all, I just be getting men just be asking me like, about sex and stuff
yeah,
like that.
those
So
are typical questions.
those are
that we
typical
get
questions I'll get.
Yeah.
We'll talk about sex and stuff in
Yeah.
the private community.
inside of the community.
In the private community, because that is an important topic.
Mhm.
So it says, does Lady Boo provide services for seeing if you are compatible with the woman you are interested in? Yes, she does, Kyle. Great question. So you can follow her page. And you're in my Become More Academy, so I'll shoot you the links to her stuff in there too as well. But you can follow her page _lady.boo.
No, so my cosmotherapy page is, I believe, it's just type in cosmotherapy.
Cosmotherapy.
It's spelled COSMOTHERAPY. Basically, what I do is the cosmotherapy and love reading. So whether it's just you or you and the partner, you can book a session with me, and you both will be immersed into the Zoom consultation, and I'll go over each of your individual cosmology. So you have your own, knowledge of self-reference before entering into the union, and then as well as your combined cosmology for you to understand the functions and dysfunctions of your shared connection, and whether or not you all have any mutual energies that are beneficial to you based off of your nature, or whether or not. So that will give you a clear distinction of whether or not you decide you want to move forward with that person, regardless of if you have mutuals or not. Just you knowing y'all specific combined black print will give you a reference on how to stay in the function and know when you're entering into dysfunction, and be able to pivot and prosper every time, because after you have that level of insight on your combined energy, there's really not a lot of room for error, unless the relationship is a uphill battle type of dynamic, because there are some connections that are more conflicting and serve as a catalyst for growth than collaborative that serve in a flow of purpose. So but each dynamic obviously serves its purpose. So yeah, it's just a matter of what your preference and values are, and how strong that dynamic is, and if you all are joining out of a sense of multiplicity, with in abundance in a dynamic, or whether you all are just in survival and more codependent. You want to enter the dynamic and interdependence, and just being able to grow from there. So yes, cosmotherapy, go book your cosmotherapy and love reading, and you'll get all type of insight on how to move forward and function purposely.
And you can join the group. She'll also be offering that in the group too. So either way, you'll be having access to her and all the other resources that we have if you join the group. Again, the group is $13 a month. We use that number because it's the number of completion. It's the number of totality and
mastery.
Mm-hmm. So great question. He added the page _ is that it right there, _ cosmotherapy?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that is it. So that is great question, bro.
Thank you.
Anybody have any other questions for us?
Going once, going twice.
We're gonna go to 9:12. It's one more minute. I want to thank all y'all for joining and watching and staying tuned. We appreciate it. We're gonna be going live again. Our private community will be going live on Sunday evenings. So if you're a part of the live community, just make sure you free up your time. Sunday, I think that's the page right there, Cosmotherapy. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you, bro. Looking forward to meeting you. And just lastly, for all the men, y'all, all the men on here, if you want to become more, if you want to become a man who can actually handle this dynamic, manifest to or even more powerful women, then join my Become More Academy. It's $1 a week. I'm going to be going live every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, serving for the rest of my life. I told you guys I spent a couple days in jail. It was a completely purposeful experience. I was able to really be a pillar for so many broken men. I was in there for a stupid reason, missing court, but it gave me an opportunity to really be a light in a very dark place. And I realized in that moment that so many men are being destroyed by the system. So many families are being affected by the system. The two wealthiest places in the world are the graveyard and the jails. There's so many people who are dead with their dreams, their goals, their aspirations, and there's so many people that are behind bars that could literally be changing the world. So I'm here to save my reflection, the Black Indigenous American man who is a God, who has the capability to save a nation, who has the capability to produce amazing fruit in this world. And we're going to do that. It starts with the communities that we're putting together. It starts with us taking accountability. It starts with us claiming our nationality and walking and working in this life in full autonomy. So if nobody else has any questions, y'all know what to do. Follow us on Poly in Purpose, right?
Yes.
No underscores, no nothing.
No.
All right, Poly in Purpose, and we will be live again. I'm gonna get the ladies, and their time is very valuable. But I'm gonna get them to go live every Wednesday. Do something for the sister wives, talk some stuff, give y'all some inspiration, promote the group, and answer some questions and stuff. So if you guys are done, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Wish y'all the very, very best in life. And remember that anything your mind can conceive, it can achieve. It can achieve. So have no limits, have no fears, have no doubts. This is your moment. This is your time. Peace. Musa family out. All right, babe, I'm gonna let you handle that share part.